are constantly bombarded with different types of emotions: happiness, sadness, anger, excitement, but most often fleetingly. How can we ensure that these are enduring rather than temporary? A feeling of lasting contentment rather than short bursts of joy or sadness? Well, there is a special type of feeling that allows us to enable this. What do you think is the secret ingredient that sparks this? It's empathy that is ultimately reflected as kindness. Empathy and kindness are deeply interconnected because empathy is the ability to understand and share the feelings of others, while kindness is the stem to that understanding. When we wake up in the morning, it's not in our daily plans to do kind things, fulfill kind acts, or just see kindness in general. Yet, when someone holds the door open for us, or a stranger gives us a genuine smile, it changes the way we feel. It makes us feel special, unique, and wonderful. It can change the way we perceive a person. Even small words such as please and thank you have an impact. So if kindness is truly amazing, why don't we have it in our daily plans? Don't simply take my word for it. There is also research that suggests that being kind makes us feel different. A study conducted by Harvard Business School in 2020 made an experiment on adults and students on pro-social spending. 712 students were asked to make a purchase for either themselves or a stranger in need, then report on their level of happiness. Results say that the students felt greater happiness when spending pro-socially, so on a stranger in need. Next, 1,950 adults were asked to do the same experiment. Different to the predictions, adults did not resolve in greater happiness when spending pro-socially. Do you think we somehow outgrow this trait? Well, I doubt it. I feel that adults have a more responsibility and stress relying on them, that the need to protect and provide for own making becomes their number one priority. Taking everything else, take a back step. Now, I know this doesn't work for everyone, so I'd like to share my own personal story, my first brush with kindness. It goes back when I was 3 years old in my first year of kindergarten. My youth and shyness opened my eyes to many things. Our teacher had a profound influence on the view of the world that I have now. It was something about her way of communicating with us. Soft, gentle, and ultimately caring. Our mood, well-being, and education were important to her. She put our positive experiences as her number one spot at school. We were important to her. In my 3-year-old mind, it wasn't quite clicking what had made such a difference. Now that I look at it from a larger perspective, I think I know her trick. I would call her kind. Now I know that you can say many different stories of random strangers being kind to each other. Through talking about this, it gives us a warm and fuzzy feeling. However, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the complexities of the world that we live in. The world as we know is not often filled with random acts of kindness. There are aspects of it that are rather shocking, but I'm not going to narrate any of these either. We have to think about this. Why do people choose to be harsh if they can rather be kind? Is kindness hard? Do people choose not to do it because it is extremely hard to execute? Is it not the natural way of the world? I'd like to go back to the research I cited at the start. The truth is that it takes a lot of courage to be kind. We have to learn how to make sacrifices to enhance that emotion. We as humans are often in a cost-benefit analysis situation, meaning that we would rather not be kind if it comes at our own personal cost. However, beyond that, I feel we are afraid. Some people fear rejection, exploitation, or appearing weak, or they have just been taken advantage of and have now learned to restrict themselves in situations. But the risks of avoiding kindness are disastrous. The rising conflict of the world is horrible. But something that really triggers me is the refugee crisis. Millions of people have left their homes behind with nowhere to go. They live in plain sight, yet we still choose to ignore. Oh kindness, why are you so hard to give and even harder to find? I would like to go back to my personal story. Remember my kindergarten teacher? Her approach to us made the change. This is because why I stepped forward and overcame my shyness. She was caring and gentle. It was about her simple acts of taking 5 minutes of the day to play our favorite game, or even simpler, smile at our completed work. It was like she had a mirror through which she could see how we felt and how we wanted to be talked to. All it was her positive view on the world. What I've understood from those 2 years with that favorite teacher of mine is that, and then being a kindergartner, and now being a teenager reflecting on it, is that kindness is not in grand gestures. It's about finding empathy in your heart for others. And small acts can make a difference if they are done continuously and constantly. They can create big pictures of heroes. So in this world that is already challenging enough, where we have to make kindness a habit, not just a value, what would be your daily act of kindness?